hide this tape when I'm finished. If none of us make it, at least there'll be some kind of a record. The storm's been hitting us pretty hard now for 48 hours. We still have nothing to go on. One other thing. I think it rips through your clothes when it takes you over. We're all very tired. There's nothing else I can do. Just wait. R.J. McCready, helicopter pilot, U.S. Outpost North 31.
Blake, you should have a look at this.
What the hell?
What have you got?
One body. No survivors. What we're dealing with isn't human.
Please, God.
But it's taken human form.
Stay the hell away from me, I'm warning you.
Come on, Pierce. This is crazy.
Bullshit. You're infected just like the rest.
My men are dying out there. I've seen firsthand what this infection is capable of.
Oh, you have no idea what it can do.
Like my dad always said, if you want a job done right, you gotta do it yourself.
You're out of your league here, Blake.
Yeah, take it, bitch! Oh! Game over, Whitley.
This game is just beginning.
The Thing, developed by Computer Artworks and released by Black Label Games in 2002 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. Taking place after the events of John Carpenter's The Thing, a U.S. Special Forces team led by Captain Blake is sent to investigate the ruins of U.S. Outpost Number 31. All they find is the remains of Blair's UFO, the body of Childs, and a recording left by R.J. McCready. The team demolishes what's left of U.S. Outpost Number 31, and then they head to the old Norwegian base where it all began. The Thing is a third-person survival horror action game where the player must make it from mission to mission and survive the horde of terrifying mutated creatures. You play as Captain Blake of the U.S. Special Forces, who is sent in to investigate what happened on the two bases. During his adventure, he will come across several survivors, both friendly and not, and you never know who's going to turn into the Thing next. The game employs a system of trust and fear. When you first meet new comrades, they might not trust you off the bat and think you're one of the monsters. By giving them helpful items, healing them, or killing any monsters around them, will get them to trust you more and follow your orders. If your teammates lose complete trust in you, they will turn on you and attack you or run away. Getting into heavy combat with the Thing creatures or witnessing any kind of terrifying or gruesome event will sometimes cause your teammates to become fearful. If you check your teammates' status and they're looking around, that means they're a little on edge. If they're shaking violently, that means they're ready to snap. If they snap, they can just go completely ballistic, shooting everything in sight. You have to calm them down by getting them away from the scene, healing them, or giving them a weapon. There's always the possibility that one of your teammates could be one of the Thing monsters, and they could turn on you at any second, and you don't want that to happen when you least expect it. Just like in the movie, you could administer a blood test, and it'll tell you if they're real or one of the monsters. The smaller Thing creatures can be dispatched with any form of gunfire, but the larger creatures can only be killed with fire. When attacking enemies, a colored reticule appears around them. The color of this reticule depicts the state of their health. Whittling their health down to red and then using the flamethrower will dispatch the bigger Thing creatures. Their arsenal of weapons includes pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, and flamethrowers, and you have a bunch of secondary items such as grenades, health kits, and fire extinguishers to put out any fires you make while trying to dispatch the larger creatures. Each of your teammates you find also has a different class. The assault class is good with weapons, the engineer class can repair junction boxes, anything else that you can't repair yourself, and the medic class can dispense med kits when you run low. Because the game also takes place in the Antarctic, you have to worry about the weather. A small meter at the bottom of the screen appears when you go outside and it begins to deplete. If it depletes all the way, you start to lose health, so try to limit your visits outside so you don't freeze to death. The graphics in the thing are pretty good. The character models look decent, and the environments look like they were taken straight from the movie. The outside weather effects are also pretty cool. The models for the thing monsters look pretty good as well, and the transformation effects from when you witness a teammate go are pretty gruesome. The story takes place directly after the events of the movie it is based on, and it is actually a very intriguing and very well written one. It also has tons of references to the movie as well, to some of the environments, some of the characters, and even the dialogue.
Now I'm gonna show you what I already know.
The voice acting is also pretty top-notch, and stands out from your standard survival horror fare. Even John Carpenter himself makes a cameo as one of the characters later in the game. My only real gripe with the game is the camera and some of the controls. The camera's always locked on your back, and you can't rotate the camera with the right analog stick. So when you're fighting a cluster of thing monsters in a tight area, it's really hard to see what you're doing. The game has an auto-aim feature, but it doesn't work as well as it should half the time. Maneuvering can sometimes be a pain, as your only movement is with the left analog stick. The L2 and R2 buttons can strafe, but it's really awkward, especially in a tight situation. Aside from that, The Thing is a pretty wild ride, just like the movie it's based off of. It's filled with intense action set pieces and a great story. John Carpenter's The Thing is my favorite horror movie of all time, and the game does it justice and then some. I saved the best for last, not just because The Thing is my favorite movie of all time, but because it's proof that a movie-based game can be fantastic. This one should be fairly common and pretty cheap, so if you happen across the copy, do yourself a favor and pick it up. You won't be disappointed. The film itself is also worth checking out if you haven't seen it. It's a horror masterpiece, and one of the best films of its kind. If you look at any top horror list, this one's usually at the top. I can't rave enough about it. Watch the movie, play the game, get scared. Do it now. Well guys, that's it for the 31 games of Halloween. It sure has been a journey, and I thank you guys very much for being with me since the beginning. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I look forward again to doing it next year. Please leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please share with your friends. Don't hesitate to leave any suggestions, and let me know if any of these games interest you and you would like to see me play through them on my channel. Thank you guys so much again for joining me, and I will see you in the next game. Have a good night.
Blake, you need anything repaired or even a simple bypass, and I'm your man.
If any of you take on any damage, get back to me ASAP, and I'll help you out. I'm not carrying any dead bodies back.
I'm locked, loaded, and ready to make shit dead.